All right, today we are diving deep into a really old story, an ancient creation story from the Vedic texts. And this one's different. It's not about some peaceful, quiet beginning. Nope. This is about a universe forged in the fires of a cosmic war. So let's just start with a huge question. I want you to forget everything you think you know about the universe, just popping into existence from one single point. What if? What if the very fabric of our reality, I'm talking the stars, the space between them, even this rock we're on, what if it was all the result of a massive, universe-spanning war? Okay, so to get this story, first you gotta meet the main characters. But here's the thing, these aren't gods and demons like you might be picturing. Think bigger. These are two fundamental, totally opposite forces that kick off the whole cosmic drama. So on one side, you've got the Devas. They're the illuminated force. Basically, they're all about order, light, stability. You know, the good stuff. And then on the other side, you've got the Asuras, the unilluminated force. They're the agents of chaos, fragmentation, darkness, and, yeah, violence. It's that classic struggle, right? The builders versus the breakers. So, where does all this kick off? Well, in the very beginning, there was, well, nothing, really. No structure anyway. Just this single, enormous cosmic gas cloud, the raw material for everything that would ever exist. The texts have this beautiful name for it, the Hiranyagarbha, which means the golden womb. Just pure potential, waiting for something to happen. And that's something that happens, it comes from the side of chaos. That's right, the Asuras, that force of fragmentation and violence. They make the first move, and they don't exactly build things carefully. No, they create through one powerful, destructive act. It all goes down in 3 violent steps. They basically shatter that Hiranyagarbha. First, bam, a spinning, unstable chunk of stuff gets flung out. That's going to be our Earth world. Second, whoosh, a dark, super compressed, lightless space is formed. That's the in-between. And third, the fiery core is just left behind, totally untamed and chaotic. That's the sky world. 3 realms, all born from one massive explosion of chaos. So what kind of universe are we left with after this? Honestly, it's a total mess. You've got planets just spinning wildly without stable orbits. Space itself is so jammed together that light can't even get through. And the stars? They're not even lit yet. Everything is way too close, super dangerous, basically a universe on the very edge of collapsing back into nothing. But, of course, the story doesn't just end in chaos. This is where our other players, the Devas, finally step onto the stage. They look at this unstable mess of a cosmos, and they come up with a plan. It's time for a counterattack of pure, organizing light. So what's their weapon of choice in this cosmic war? The texts call it the Upasada, and you can pretty much think of them as these super powerful, laser-focused rays of ordering energy. Kind of like cosmic thunderbolts, right? Each one designed to do one very specific, world-shaping job. Okay, now we're getting to the climax, the really cool part. The Devas don't just hit the undo button on what the Asuras did. They're smarter than that. They take all that chaotic raw material and they start forging it, shaping it into a stable, ordered universe. One realm at a time. And their method is just brilliant. Check this out. The first ray of Upasada, it zaps the Earth world. It condenses all that gas into a solid planet and locks it into a nice, stable orbit. Done. The second ray goes after the in-between world. It just pushes back all that darkness, creating space so light can finally travel. And the third and final ray? It slams into the sky world, igniting the stars through nuclear fusion and stabilizing their gravity. Just like that, solar systems are born. Chaos is literally transformed into cosmos. I mean, it's an absolutely stunning victory for the forces of order, but it leaves us with a really important question. What happened to the Asuras? That incredibly powerful original force of chaos? Did they just get destroyed? Well, the answer is maybe the most fascinating part of this whole story. The Asura force wasn't eliminated. Not at all. Its very nature was changed. It was contained, cornered, and then repurposed. Think of it like a cosmic chase. First, the Devas trapped that chaotic energy inside the big structures, the three worlds. But the Asura force was slippery. It hid in finer things, like the rhythm of the seasons. So the Devas chased it there. Then it hid in monthly cycles, then daily cycles. They just kept pursuing it, pushing it into smaller and smaller and smaller scales, until finally, it had nowhere left to go. It was cornered in the most fundamental place imaginable, the tiny little gaps between particles of matter. So here's the big takeaway, the mind-blowing part. Chaos wasn't an enemy that needed to be destroyed. It was a necessary component that had to be integrated. The exact same force that almost tore the universe apart was repurposed to become a fundamental part of its structure. And why does that matter? Well, its new job is absolutely crucial. This once violent force, now hidden in the spaces between everything, is what keeps particles at the right distance from each other. It's the reason everything doesn't just collapse back in on itself. It's the universe's structural spacer. So when you boil it all down, this ancient model is saying you need two fundamental forces to build a universe that lasts. You need one force, the Devas, to pull matter together and create stuff, and you need a second, hidden force, the repurposed Asuras, to keep all that stuff properly separated and in balance. So the final picture we get of the cosmos isn't just one of pure, sterile order. It's a dynamic balance, a cosmic dance. You've got the visible universe, all the stars and galaxies. That's the work of the Devas. But holding it all in place, pushing everything apart just enough, that's the hidden structure provided by the Asuras. Creation and separation, working together in perfect harmony. It's incredible. And that leaves us with one last pretty wild thought. A hidden, unseen energy that's everywhere in the universe, and its main job is to push things apart and drive expansion. Does that sound at all familiar? Could this ancient story, this tale of a universe forged in war, actually be an ancient intuitive blueprint for what our scientists today call dark energy? Now that is something to think about.